measured out the yarn. Hopefully it's correct. Yeah, I
know
see
the white is, both you and Lee's counted the white.
Turn it around here. So we have it tied here and across here. And here and across, at least I've distributed it a bit. So it was, with regular cross. This is the top portion. And we've got the cross mark here, here, here. And now what do we need?
Some choke ties.
Some ties to keep it from getting all tangled when you're working with it.
And not tying in the
Don't tie in the guide string.
Yeah.
Now when we tie it to the loom,
we have to measure how far from the, depends which loom we're going to use.
now we're using the same loom as last week, so do you remember what the measurement was?
24 or 28.
It was, I think,
Oh,
it was either,
that's right.
it was
It's going
this
on this same
yeah.
loom. That's right. Did you not write it down? Just somebody. We could look at the videos.
We could measure it again.
I think it's also in the email.
Oh, that would have been an oldie. I didn't put that in last week.
Anyway, I remember 27, and 27 is pretty standard for that size. Always. So I'm just trying to find my tape measure.
I'm not sure what you're talking about with the 27. What does it refer to?
The distance from here where the skirt will meet and here where you're going to tie it to the front beam.
Oh. Well, we had it
We have the tie here, and the measurement is so that you can bring your yarns here and do your threading. And you want this anchored very tightly on your beam here, so that as you pull each individual thread and thread it through the petals, they don't split. So we need to put that on.
So 27?
Yes, 27. And this is a yarn that's a contrasting color, very strong. I don't think anybody can make this yarn.
None of us.
And also, it's pretty thick. I mean, compared to the yarn that we're using, so it's a good contrast. And I'm gonna measure 6, 27 here. So very tight. Now, if you have a yarn that's not so strong, you make it really tight, you break it. So you need a strong yarn here. And then a double knot. And up here we have our cross. It's tied in all of these little upper sections and lower sections, and it's even tied right through the cross. But when we take it to the loom, we have been using a very long string as a leash string and tying it across the front beam of the loom to hold your cross in place. Now some people use sticks. That's your own preference, but I use a stick. I find a stick, once you've got it onto the beam, your yarns kind of get trapped under it. They don't move as easily as with the strings. But that's your choice too. And when this is contrasting color and a little bit thicker than the yarn we're using. Put it through here and try not to get your guide string. And I'm just guessing. I'm sure it's right there somewhere.
So sorry, I missed this part.
This is your leash
Yes,
thing.
this leash goes on the front beam, and then your
So it's going to go across here. It's going to kind of hook on here, go across here and hook on there. And then you'll have your, this is already finished, so that's why it's not doing it. We put it up on the top.
And then we're just going to tie it in places so that it won't get tangled as you're working with it. Thank you.
Are they big enough?
About every hour or so.
Now, how many ties you put in here? Depends how anal you are.
Are we going down?
Oh, I'm going down.
We're definitely not anal. We are a non-anal group.
You
We
want
very said to be, I think.
you want some ties because
Well, I usually do about every,
Yeah. So
But
that's
you're
up
not
to you.
tying them in tens. In groups
The
of 10.
time that for the counting is over. The counting would have been done while you were doing your cross.
Oh, I see. So you don't need to keep
don't
them.
have
This is just extra security.
Yes, this is extra security. And like I said, depending how anal you are, you could do it every 10 groups. Just think how long that's going to take
I
and how
do-
fiddly
I
it's
know.
going to
I
be.
used to do that.
Yeah.
I always do that.
Now you
I
do
thought
want
that's
to
what
tie
I
it
was
every
supposed to do.
10 groups or however many you're using somewhere so that you can keep track of your count. But where you do that is up to you. I do it up here in the cross because that's where I'm doing all my fiddling and working and counting. And now, Elise, you can do your chaining.
Yeah, see? I'll wait.
So Elise had one way of taking it off tension here. Last week I had pushed this up a bit. Elise's solution is to just take this post-it. That's a lot easier.
Do you want to tie one
Yeah,
more?
I'll tie one more.
Because the other two on my nail are very tight. I can't even move them. But I make sure that this one is a bit loose. So I can pull it at the end.
And you can take the guide string out, but make sure you just replace it.
Keep it.
Yeah.
Oh,